Hello, Rex in here. So today we're gonna be having a story time and whatnot about this dude who wanted me to be a girl best friend, aka a fuck buddy. So while we're doing that, we're gonna be doing my cornrows. Even on the last post, I was mad. I'm not even gonna hold you. They were dingy, so that's why I redid my whole head, and this is my last part to do. So look at my cornrows. Yes, they're not neat. I don't have a rat tail comb, bitch. Anyways, and I have 6 parts. This is the 6th one. I should have done 8, but I didn't feel like it. Who feels like doing that shit? Like that ass. But we're gonna go into a little bit of background. So this is a 3-part series. It's on my YouTube channel, A-List Shipping Hog. I'm gonna post it in. And this is a character named B in the story time and whatnot. Now, I was friends with him back in 8th grade. The 3-part story time takes place in middle school, not even gonna lie. So that was almost 6 or 7 years ago, give or take. So we were good friends. Then he moved away and whatnot. And then last year is when we called. September 2022. This is where the story time takes place. So boom, September 2022, I was bored, bro. I was trying to do my work. I couldn't do this shit. It's been 3 hours because I want somebody else to do that shit for me. I'm not even gonna hold you. I should have had somebody else do the shit. I can't even remember which class it was. That's how fucking bored I was, bro. I was just like, I don't even give a fuck about this class, man. I was too bored to eat. I couldn't make food. Making food takes me an hour every time. Couldn't watch TV, I would never have done my work. So I was on my phone, Snapchat, right? I reinstall and uninstall Snapchat because, well, bitch, it takes up battery on my phone. Blame me, shoot me, do whatever. But I was talking to this dude because it was a week prior he had texted me and I was just like, damn, I feel bad. I literally missed his text and whatnot. Oh my gosh, bro. So I texted him and it was cool. It was cool. Then out of nowhere, he was just like, oh, I'm not doing anything. You can call me. Now, bitch, I was just like looking up. I was scrolling up and down. I was just like, when did I ask to call him? Shouldn't he be asking me to call if I'm cool to call? But anyways, I didn't press on that. But something in my gut told me not to call him. Something was telling me to say, hey, you can't call. I can't call right now. I got work to do. And I did. I had work every fucking day in college, okay? Every day I had fucking work to do. But so I could have just said that shit, but I didn't because I was just like psyching myself out. I called him and whatnot for a solid hour. It was cool. We talked as friends. I talked to him as friends, at least. We talked about relatable shit. He was goofy back in 8th grade. He's goofy now. His voice is just deeper and shit. I curse more now, and he said my voice was deeper too. So, whatever. The fuck. I also look different too from 8th grade, so that's one thing he pointed out a bit. We talked about our families. We talked about how it was where he lived at. I can't tell you where I live at, and I can't tell you where he lived at, but may I just say we're Southern folks, okay? But child, what had happened was that the hour mark hit, and we were talking about our friend Hoodie. In the story time, there's a dude named Hoodie, bro, and we were talking about him. Hoodie was, should I just say that? He's in the military, basically, and he's a year younger than us, and B was describing it as, oh yeah, he was getting, hey, some of the military girls want him and whatnot. He getting at him, so he getting active and whatnot. And he was just like, shit, hey, when you come down, me and Hoodie could get active with you. He didn't say that. He said something worse. I'm not gonna hold you. I don't want to say it. But anyways, it wasn't that bad. But it was still kind of just like, bitch, what? I had to stop the press for a second. I was just like, what the hell did you say? Bro, and then I asked him, and then he went into a tangent talking about how he used to like me and how he always liked me throughout our friendship in 8th grade, bro. He told me this shit, right? 7 years later, nigga, like, I can't. I fucking can't, bro. 7 years later, he tells me this shit and think I'm just supposed to be cool. Like, what do you mean you used to like me, bro? But then there was a moment in 8th grade where I legit rejected him in person. Like, someone had just asked, someone lied and said that I liked him. And then he asked me dramatic. He was fucking dramatic. I think he forgets he was dramatic, right? So he was just like, bro, you like me? You like me? And I was just like, fuck no. I said that shit with all the heart and spirit I could muster. Fuck no, because I didn't. I liked this friend. I liked Shock. Shock is part of my story time too on my YouTube. But anyways, or Shocker. I forget the name and whatnot. So he was telling me, giving me the whole spiel that he used to like me. And I was on some shit just like, I had to stand up from my phone, bro. I walked around my room because I was shocked. I was just like, why the hell is he telling me this shit? Oh, I used to like you. Okay, nigga, why are you telling me? Like, dead ass. But so he told me this shit. Keep in mind, I didn't tell y'all, during the first hour mark, he did let me know that he had a girlfriend and whatnot. So I already knew that he had a girlfriend by the time the hour mark had passed. So I was just like, oh, what about your girlfriend? Like, dead ass. I was just like, man, what about your girl, bro? What are you talking with? And he was on some shit just like, oh yeah, we're on a break. Okay. Like, dead ass, like, okay. What do I gotta do with me? No, I'm just kidding. We're on a break and whatnot. And he was saying that he got the pass. Hey, he paid $200 to go, basically, and some shit like that, where she was just like, oh yeah, it's okay if he does things with other people while doing it, right? Now most people would be like, oh yeah, why are you telling this if that's your friend? We're not friends anymore. So it's like, and he is the reason, actually. You don't ruin your friendship by trying to be fuck buddies with a person that never had the intention beforehand. Like, that's too weird. Like, he's a male friend. He was one of my 3 main male friends, so that's why it was weird as fuck. So anyways, he went into the whole spill. He talked about parts, not his relationship, but just some parts that were a bit personal. I gotta admit, he was very honest. He was an honest dude. I'm not even gonna hold you. I'm not gonna be on some shit like, oh, he duped me. Bitch, he didn't dupe me and shit. He was honest. But for a while, I didn't think he was honest. I thought he was joking with me because there were dudes in the past that did that shit. So it's like, joking with me or some shit, thinking that shit was ha kiki. He didn't know that though. He didn't need to know that. He is telling me this shit now because back in the day, people used to look at me with a fucked up expression because I was fat. And he also did not want to be seen with me and get that fucked up expression. So that's why he didn't say anything. And I was on some shit like, okay. That shit had, I'm not even gonna hold you, that shit low-key offended me. But that's what, I was mad for a bit and then I got over it. So I gotta tell you, we had a 3-hour-long conversation, bro. This conversation is not on some shit like, oh yeah, it was always sexual. No, for a good chunk of it, it was actually not. We were talking about relatable shit, people staying out late at Walmart and some stuff like that, some family stuff, you know, growing up and handling our emotions better. Like, we were talking about some really cool, different shit. And then he would always bring it back to trying to be fuck buddies. There was a moment where he joked about, oh yeah, you know, like, hey, I'm trying to get some, like, you know, I'm trying to have, I like chilling with my friends and stuff like that, my girl best friends and stuff like that. You trying to be my girl best friend? He joked like that shit, and I'm just like, and at one point he called me goofy. I'm just like, nigga, that's you. Like, what the fuck? This you? And I can't even do an edit of a picture like that Spider-Man shit. Just like, no, nigga, you like that. But anyway, bro, oh my gosh, bro, he tried to convince me 8 times in this 3-hour-long conversation talking about the shit, bro. So throughout the whole thing, I was waiting for him to say, nah, I'm fucking with you. I was really waiting for him to do that shit. Because he probably, back then, he was kind of the type to probably do some shit like that. I'm not gonna lie. So one thing for sure, why I thought it was a joke, there was a moment where he said, oh yeah, I live here so-and-so, so you could just take your car and drive down here to come get me. I told him I don't have a car, but I do have a license. And he was just like, oh, okay, cool, shit, we could just meet up and stuff like that, have a good time, and then, hey, I could throw you something. I was just like, okay, so you want me to meet up in my family's car to come and get you so that we can do something crazy? Nigga, what? Like, deadass, like, what the fuck do you mean, bro? What do you mean? I don't know. It was just, I don't know. I don't know. So, the second call, no. We called for 3 hours and the next day he called me. Well, I called him, but yeah. Because I really was waiting for him to be on some shit just like, oh no, I'm joking with you, right? Because he still considered his girlfriend as in-game. He even told me during it. I kept saying girlfriend, and I was waiting for him to change his mind and say like, oh yeah, not girlfriend, something different. But he never did. So he still referred to this person as his girlfriend. He still sees her as his girlfriend and whatnot. He still wants to be with her. He just wants some good. And I'm going to do a part 2 probably of this. But yeah, the reason why I was really feeling weirded out, or I just may end it in this one. I was feeling weirded out about that because I'm over here just thinking like, I thought he was calling me on some friend type, catching up type shit. Because in 2020, he had texted me. And he never led with this type of shit. And he was single during this. So I was just like, why didn't you try this 2020, but you want to try this now when you actually have somebody? So that was having me fucked up. You only contacted me to try to see if I was stupid enough to fuck you. Like, that's weird. I don't like that. Like, that is, I was just like, I did not like that. I had to tell him on like the second call, I think. But anyways, that's the end for it.